My baby was
My
born
baby
healthy.
was born
My baby
healthy.
was born healthy.
My baby was born
My
healthy.
baby was born healthy.
Do you have any idea what Kernicterus is?
No.
Have you ever even heard of it?
Nope.
Do you know what Kernicterus is?
No.
Have you ever even heard of it?
No.
Do either of you know what Kernicterus is?
No.
No.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
What do you think is Kernicterus?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of it before.
And you?
I've never heard of it either. I have no idea.
And what do you think Kernicterus is?
Isn't it a yellowing of the skin in babies? I don't know.
Have you ever heard of the word Kernicterus?
No, I have not.
Do you know what it is?
It's probably some sort of disease.
Do you know what kind of disease?
I do not. Please inform me.
It is a rare kind of preventable brain damage that can happen in newborns with jaundice.
What's jaundice?
It is a yellow coloring of the skin and other tissues that affect about 60% to 80% of infants in the United States of America.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know.
Kernicterus is caused by an extreme buildup of bilirubin in the brain and when jaundice is not treated. Bilirubin is a waste product that's produced when your liver breaks down old blood cells so your body can remove them. There's two types of bilirubin, unconjugated and conjugated. Unconjugated can lead to kernicterus if something causes it to build up. Conjugated does not cross from the blood into the brain and can usually be removed from your body. Therefore, conjugated bilirubin doesn't lead to kernicterus. This can potentially lead to cerebral palsy, hearing loss, vision problems, or mental retardation.
What is the age of onset of Kernicterus?
In some cases, symptoms and physical findings of Kernicterus appear 2 to 5 days after birth. Within the first few days of life, affected infants develop abnormally high levels of bilirubin in the blood and persistent yellowing of the skin, mucous membranes, and whites of the eyes. In most cases, the syndrome characteristic of Kernicterus develops by 3 to 4 years of age. Kernicterus is a rare neurological disorder that affects newborn infants of both sexes in equal numbers. It occurs more often in premature infants compared to full-term infants. Kernicterus can be suspected within the first few days of life, and about 60% of all babies have jaundice. A baby born to an East Asian or Mediterranean family is at a higher risk of becoming jaundiced. The incidence of Kernicterus in the USA is estimated to be 1 in 40,000 births, with about 1 in 650 to 1,000 neonates born.
The prevalence of Kernicterus in the United States is unknown. It is most common in newborns with jaundice, and jaundice affects about 60 to 80% of infants. It is the small number of cases where jaundice does not go away that newborns can face the severe damage of Kernicterus, but still the population risk of this occurrence remains unknown.
What are the preventions and interventions of Kernicterus?
The treatment for Kernicterus mainly focuses on the decreasing of the amount of unconjugated bilirubin in the newborn's blood. Some options are that we need to provide enough breast milk and formula. We need phototherapy, also known as light therapy. It involves the usage of a special blue light on the baby's skin, either at the hospital or at home, and it breaks down bilirubin. And another option is blood transfusion, only done if the newborn is not responding to other treatments that quickly lower their bilirubin level. But jaundice can lead to Kernicterus if it goes on for too long, and complications can occur. So in the beginning of a newborn's birth, newborns should be watched for jaundice every 8 to 12 hours their first 2 days of their lives. And that is the prevention and intervention of Kernicterus.
Wow.
What are available assistive technologies for those who have Kernicterus?
Once Kernicterus develops, there is no distinct treatment. Because of this, there are not many assistive technologies for infants and children with Kernicterus to access. However, there are preventions that were discussed earlier on in the video. If such preventions like phototherapy, blood transfusions, and sufficient breast milk and formula intake fail to prevent kernicterus, other issues can affect infants and children. Some potential risks that can result from unprevented kernicterus are brain damage, cerebral palsy, vision problems, dental problems, and intellectual disabilities. It is important to consider assistive technologies for these potential issues, as they can commonly occur if kernicterus is not treated early on enough. Some assistive technologies for these different results of untreated kernicterus are screen readers for blind individuals, braille watches, braille printers, talking dictionaries, switch-adapted toys, wheelchairs, seat-adaptive chairs. However, these are only a few of the ever-changing and advancing technologies and tools people have access to in order to enhance their lives that have started with the preventable disease of kernicterus and resulted in another lifelong challenge to take on. Although there are not many assistive technologies or supports for kernicterus directly, the Parents of Infants and Children with Kernicterus External, also known as PIC, is a great support system. PIC was formed in 2000 by a group of 7 mothers of infants and children with kernicterus. Although the founding group banded together to promote awareness, prevention, and treatment of kernicterus, they are also the means of support for one another. Since then, many families and medical professionals have become involved with PIC and have formed a PIC community. These parents can rely on each other when making decisions for their child and to hear the different stories and opinions of those who have already gone through dealing and coping with this disease.